AJ Styles comments on retirement and dealing with Vince McMahon. Lita shares her honest thoughts on performing in Saudi Arabia. And a wrestling legend feels that Goldberg beating Roman Reigns is a real possibility. What's up, everyone? I'm Jose G, and there's a lot to talk about in today's Sportskeeda Wrestling WWE News Roundup. Never miss brand new content by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. AJ Styles comments on retirement and dealing with Vince McMahon. In a recent interview with Fightful, WWE superstar AJ Styles spoke about potential retirement and dealing with WWE Chairman Vince McMahon. AJ Styles has been an active professional wrestler since 1998, enjoying a brief stint with WCW before the company was absorbed by WWE. Styles went on to sign with TNA, becoming one of the company's top stars, making his name synonymous with the brand, before a successful stint in Japan. However, since 2016, Styles has worked exclusively for WWE. According to Fightful, Styles is happy with how his career has panned out, saying should unforeseen circumstances for him to retire, he'd be satisfied with his efforts in the professional wrestling world. The Phenomenal One has a reputation for being one of the best wrestlers in the business, but WWE CEO Vince McMahon wasn't always a fan, according to Styles himself. The former WWE champion claimed that Vince wasn't exactly convinced when he first saw Styles in the ring, but was convinced when he was able to channel the pit bull that McMahon allegedly wanted. The Georgia native added that he and Vince are similar in the ways they deal with problems, which contributes to the positive working relationship between Styles and WWE. Needless to say, McMahon was convinced and trusted AJ with the top title on two separate occasions. Big update on Goldberg's immediate WWE future after Elimination Chamber. It looks like WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg's current run won't last long. He returned to WWE TV last week's edition of SmackDown and confronted current Universal Champion Roman Reigns. A challenge for the top title was thrown down, which the Tribal Chief accepted. These two megastars are scheduled to battle in a singles match for the Universal title at the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. WWE has advertised the in-ring veteran for 2 SmackDown episodes before Elimination Chamber. However, they haven't advertised him for any other shows after the Premium Live event heading into WrestleMania 38. This indicates that his current run on the main roster is set to end on February 19th in Saudi Arabia. This week's episode of SmackDown is set to emanate from the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. WWE will also tape next week's Elimination Go Home episode of the Blue Brand. The former WCW World Champion has been advertised for both shows. The Hall of Famer is a 2-time Universal Champion. He won both titles on the road to WrestleMania. In 2017, he defeated Kevin Owens for the coveted belt in 22 seconds at WWE's Fastlane and lost it later on to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 33. At Super Showdown in 2020, he squashed The Fiend in 3 minutes to win his second Universal title. At the Show of Shows later that year, he lost the Universal title to Braun Strowman. Goldberg's match against Roman is almost on the horizon. Unless WWE signs him to a new contract, it looks like his run with the company is about to end at Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia. Sasha Banks reveals why she loves professional wrestling. SmackDown superstar Sasha Banks discussed her passion for the pro wrestling business, stating that she loves it because she gets to be anything. The Boss is a former NXT, Raw, and SmackDown Women's Champion and one half of the inaugural WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. She has also main evented WrestleMania and was one of the first women to compete inside Hell in a Cell in 2016. During her recent appearance on Mark Andrews' My Love Letter to Wrestling, Banks stated that meeting people, during interviews, and meeting legends like Stone Cold Steve Austin are some of the reasons why she loves pro wrestling. The Blueprint grew up as a wrestling fan, and it's widely known that she idolized the late great Eddie Guerrero. Today, Sasha is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Apart from being a fan of professional wrestling, Sasha Banks revealed that she also likes MMA. Sasha is a surefire future Hall of Famer. She is part of the 4 horsewomen of WWE along with Bayley, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch, and has changed the landscape of women's wrestling for the better. Lita shares her honest thoughts on performing in Saudi Arabia. WWE Hall of Famer Lita has explained her decision to compete in Saudi Arabia despite previously criticizing the company's relationship with the country. The former WWE Women's Champion will collide with Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title at Elimination Chamber, which is set to take place on February 19th in Jeddah. This will be the first time that Lita will compete in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. During a recent interview with Ring the Bell, the Hall of Famer pointed out that things are different now, as women are no longer excluded from the shows, and touched on the positive feedback given by other female performers who have competed in Saudi Arabia. Lita is one of the greatest female stars in the history of the business, and she has enough credibility to potentially dethrone Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title. Her last singles match in WWE was on the July 23, 2012 episode of Monday Night Raw, where she defeated Heath Slater in a no disqualification match. She also had the honor of being the one to introduce the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 32. At Elimination Chamber, Lita has the chance to make history by defeating Big Time Bex and leave Saudi Arabia with the gold around her waist. Wrestling legend feels that Goldberg beating Roman Reigns is a real possibility. On this week's episode of Sportskeeda Wrestling's The Bro Show, Diamond Dallas Page reacted to Goldberg's latest WWE SmackDown return, where the latter challenged Reigns to a match. DDP also commented on whether the veteran could potentially end Roman Reigns' Universal title reign. He accepted the never say never adage and said anything could happen in pro wrestling, including the unlikely sight of Bill Goldberg dethroning the Tribal Chief. Page said he would personally not book the returning superstar to win, as his former rival has nothing left to prove in WWE. Here's what DDP had to say about Goldberg and Roman Reigns in this exclusive clip of The Bro Show.
Paige, what do you think about Goldberg actually winning the championship? Do you think that that's feasible, or do you think that this is just there's no way that we'll see Goldberg winning? And I'll get to you in a minute, Vince.
First of all, you never say never in this business. You never say never, but I wouldn't do that. I mean, there's no reason. Bill's proven he's been down the run. He's a Hall of Famer 10 years ago, whatever it was. So the reason he's back is because he pulls ratings. Buy to see him. So that's just proven, like, hey, the cat draws. So that's why he's back. If they didn't need him, they wouldn't be bringing him back. So, good for Bill.
You can watch full episodes of The Bro Show exclusively on our Instagram page. Thanks for watching today's Sportskeeda Wrestling WWE News Roundup. For exclusive content that you never want to miss, you gotta subscribe to our YouTube channel and smash that notification bell so you never miss whenever we drop brand new content. Follow us on all social media and download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.